The 2018 Jeep Wagoneer Roadtrip. Rumored to return to the market after nearly 30 years, the Wagoneer is not yet visible on the horizon, and a precise date for its unveiling is not yet known. But Jeep is doing its best to keep the flame burning using the original model, which joins this year's Moab Easter Safari with modern updates. Specifically, Jeep took a first-generation Wagoneer and gave it the restomod treatment for the annual, Utah-based event, which seems to be the place where the SUV manufacturer likes to bring more and more vehicles of this type. While it doesn't signal anything related to the modern, upcoming Wagoneer, it's a strong hint that Jeep doesn't want to leave this nameplate in the dust. Called the Wagoneer Roadtrip, this SUV is described as one that stirs up nostalgic memories of going to Yellowstone National Park on a summer family vacation. Yup, it sure sounds like the 1960s. But don't let the SUV's looks fool you. While the exterior is as old school as it gets, the cabin and the chassis hide plenty of modern upgrades. Jeep has already proven that it has the ability to build solid restomods, and the Wagoneer Roadtrip is one of its best examples. Let's have a closer look at it in the review below. Continue reading to learn more about the Jeep Wagoneer Roadtrip. What exterior modifications does the Jeep Wagoneer Roadtrip have? While not visible to the untrained eye, Jeep actually made quite a few modifications. The Wagoneer Roadtrip looks nothing like the kind of SUV that Jeep would build for the Moab Easter Safari. At least not at first glance. This thing looks like a perfectly restored Wagoneer with bigger wheels and thicker tires. But while not visible to the untrained eye, Jeep actually made a few modifications. Although it kept the original steel body of the Wagoneer, it updated it to accept the longer wheelbase of the revised chassis. It's also slightly wider due to the wider track and the customer fender flares. The wheel wells were also reshaped in order to accommodate the bigger, 17-inch wheels and large off-road tires. Take a closer look at the SUV's front end and you'll notice that the bumpers are also different. Besides being finished in a cream paint that matches the rims, they also have a smoother surface compared to the original chrome pieces, which are more prominent on certain areas. Other additions include integrated rock rails, a polished razor grille, and bottle green windows. The Wagoneer is also finished in a vintage shade of light green that helps retain the vehicle's vintage look. What interior modifications does the Jeep Wagoneer Roadtrip have? The interior was finished in a similar fashion, by combining the vehicle's old-school features with modern modifications. The interior was finished in a similar fashion, by combining the vehicle's old-school features with modern modifications. The original front and rear bench seats were retained, which is cool given the purpose of this SUV. Door panels are also original, while the oxblood-colored leather upholstery reminds of the late 1960s. Jeep swapped the old headliner for a wicker one, which provides an open, lighter feel. The floor was bed-lined, while a custom cooler was built based on period-correct luggage. Finally, a toolbox was made from the valve cover of the SUV's original 3.8-liter inline-six engine. Also called Tornado, this mill powered the base models and delivered 140 horsepower in its original iteration. What performance modifications does the Jeep Wagoneer Roadtrip have? The old inline-six engine was replaced by a modern 5.7-liter Hemi V8. Speaking of which, Jeep added a 5.7-liter V8 mill instead. The unit mates to a 4-speed automatic transmission, but there's no additional information or output figures available. Most likely the engine is the same 5.7-liter Hemi used in the modern Jeep Grand Cherokee, which comes with 360 horsepower on tap. But the engine is not the only thing that Jeep changed under the skin. The boxed chassis has a reinforced frame, while the wheelbase has been stretched by 5 inches. The SUV now rides on Dana 44 front and rear axles with lockers and a 4-link suspension system with coilover springs. The 33-inch BF Goodrich mud terrain tires provide extra off-road prowess. Is the Jeep Wagoneer Roadtrip a true restomod? All told, the Wagoneer Roadtrip is a great example of modern restomod mastery. Without the cheesy exterior upgrades, but with all the modern underpinnings you need. References. Read our full speculative review on the 2019 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Read more Jeep news.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.